Hello Capricorn, welcome to your March 2018 reading by me, Camille of Millennial Tarot. Thank you so much for tuning in again. If you have and you've subscribed, and if this is your first time, then hello. I hope that you will subscribe if you like what you see. Like always, I have to plug my personal readings, which are still just $5, and I've been getting a lot of inquiries. I hate that word. Why did I choose to say it? I've been getting a lot of emails from people, and I just so enjoy, having to read for you guys and learning your individual stories, and I'm just so honored and humbled that anyone would choose me. But I'm still doing that, so if you want to have a $5 reading for any area of your life, just hit me up in my email below and we can go from there. So I'm going to be doing the same exact thing I did last several months, which is a 3-card spread using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, and then going at the very end with the Kuan Yin Oracle for one lasting message. So I'm going to go within and see what is up for you this March of 2018, Capricorn. And we have stuff like that. What are the messages for Capricorn 2018? Messages for Capricorn. One more. Alright, let's see what's coming up. Oh my. Alright, so let me walk you through this. We have coming up in the past position, 2 of Swords. And then we have the King of Wands in the present. And then as an outcome, 10 of Swords, but do not despair for 2 reasons. 1, I'm going to clarify it. 2, Swords only has to do with what's going on in your head. This does not mean anyone's going to betray you. That's my personal philosophy, so let's get into it. In the recent past, the 2 of Swords shows that you have had an inability to make a decision. And as it shows up in this reading, I really feel like this decision has been charging you with anger. It's been charging you with distrust of people around you. It's been like negative energy central for you coming into March. And I'm not sure what the decision you need to make is, but I feel like it's a difference between, are you going to be passive about the issue or are you going to be aggressive about the issue? And so the 2 of Swords sees you kind of mulling over those 2 options. And what does that look like? For example, if someone is bothering you, you have the choice either to go within yourself and be like, all right, I'm going to choose my battles. I'm just going to let this keep happening, blah, 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 blah. Be passive about it. I'm just going to deal with it, within myself and of myself. Instead of the other option, which is to be not aggressive, like I'm going to fight you, but like I'm going to be assertive and I'm going to stand up for myself and I'm going to do this, and talk to the person or persons that are in charge of why this event or why this emotion is bothering you. And the 2 of Swords shows you having the inability to make the decision. But the 2 of Swords also gives you all the power, and you're just kind of not wanting to see your power, because she's pictured holding the 2 swords, but all she has to do is take off her blindfolds, put on the swords, and walk away freely. So to the extent that you are overthinking how you should be reacting to who is bothering you, what is bothering you, it's definitely a person. We can't talk to events. So I feel like the person that you need to settle up with is a person, and you're really unsure, like, dang, like this person has been bothering me. Dang, like I really need to should I talk to them? Like I don't know what to say. I'm a very quiet person. Swords cards being more like intellectual. I'm going to deal with it in my head. But dang, they're getting on my nerves. How are you going to deal with it? And you've been going back and forth. It could be a small situation, but it's big enough to render you at the end here. And it's all about how you're thinking about it. There's a lot of analysis paralysis, and the paralysis is really, really, really psychosomatic, and it can feel really strong and really heavy if you don't get out of these thoughts. And then we see you in the present position in March, going forth with that intuition, rather, to tackle the problem head on. And tackling the problem head on in a way that the King of Wands would. He's single-minded. He's single-focused. He's going to see it. He doesn't let anyone get in his way. A really cool thing that I remember about this card is you love him or you hate him. There is no in between. So whatever you are going forth to conquer, going forth to address, something needs to be addressed. And you're doing it with these King of Wands energy. You're doing it with fire. You're doing it with passion. You're standing up for yourself. You're doing it in a way that is feeling very uncomfortable for you. Capricorns being earth signs, not slow to anger, but you guys deal with anger in a way that is so different than a fire sign would. So you having to imbue these fire traits is really like something is bothering you. Someone is bothering you. Why are they doing this? Why are they leaving that like that? What, you know? And you're like, I've had enough. And you're putting down the swords, actually, and you're freeing yourself of the thought of what should I be doing, and you're going forth, and you're like, I have to address this. But then we have here at the very end, Ten of Swords. And so here are the multiple ways in which I will interpret this, and you can take the best and leave the rest. The first one is you did it too rashly, or you're thinking about doing it too rashly. This is the outcome, and King of Wands being the present, King of Wands being the present, both representing where you are watching this video, and in spiritual or in metaphorically representing March. So March could see you really fired up, and March is the beginning of Aries season, and Aries are like, oh, don't take bullshit. And so one way to read this is that you might feel the need to do too much. Whatever has been bothering you, you've been letting accumulate here because you have not been taking action. You've just been sitting, thinking about it back and forth, wondering what you should do and how you should address it. And so it's accumulating. And when anger accumulates, it doesn't necessarily always come out in the most healthy way. And when it doesn't come out in the most healthy way, then we're like, dang, the other person gets angry. We're now embroiled in a bigger argument. You know, all these swords representing, dang, I used to have 2 swords. Now I have 8 more swords to think about, and that frazzle. And I'm getting the energy myself, that frazzle type of energy, the dispute that needs to be disputed. The other way I see this happening is, you know, the King of Wands rushing in to, you know, clear something up, and you're not liking what you're hearing. Okay? So whatever is bothering you, I will give you for instance, because I like to, like, you know, let's ground down. I like to ground down both for all the readings and for you specific Capricorn. You're like, how does this look like in the real world? Somebody at work keeps bad-mouthing you, okay? And you're not sure why. You know, you work with them fine. You're getting your work product done. And you keep thinking, like, should I address this or should I just keep doing my work well? Should I address this or should I just why do they keep talking about me in the lunchroom? All that stuff. And then in March, or wherever this video is finding you, sees you leaning more towards the side of addressing it. And addressing it in that cardinal fire way, or in that fire way, which is like, me first, watch out, I'm coming through, get out of my way, stop talking about me, we about to square up. You know, that type of energy. And then you're not liking the result of it. You're not liking it either because what I said before, you went in too rashly and now you have a bigger thing, or you ask them, for instance, for my lunchroom example, you know, why are you talking about me? And they're like, I'm talking about you because you smell bad. And you're like, oh, dang. You know, and it might be more than what you want to take on, but I'd rather see you here having made the decision. I'd rather see you here having gone after and being assertive than have you just be paralyzed. Let's pull a clarifier. I don't want you to be paralyzed. You should address it, but there's a way in which we can address it and we ensure that both parties feel loved and heard, right? Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups being the perfect counterpart to, where am I going to put these? Being the perfect counterpart to this King of Wands, where the King of Wands would want to go forth, get out of my effing way, why are you talking about me, don't care if you like me, don't care if you hate me, all my haters, like, screw all you guys, like, that's the type of dude. You know, it's funny because these are like old cards and old representations of, like, king and queen times, and then we have to imbue it with, like, what we can be feeling in the present societal type of moments, like, y'all need to square up and get out of my way, which is the King of Wands. And then the Queen of Cups, which is how I think you should address this and will alleviate this, but we'll pull a card for that, is saying, okay, well, how can we address this in a way that's more nurturing? How can we do it in a way where I feel like I'm getting my piece said, but they don't feel hurt and attacked? How can we do this in a way where I'm not just bulldozing through, leaving carnage in my wake, like whatever, just leaving a whole bunch of dust and dirt behind me. How could we go forth in the way that is more motherly? I'm even speaking like her, more passionate, more nurturing, and keyword, intuitive. Intuitive looks like I'm not just going to go and say what I want to say now because I'm angry now. Intuitive is like, I'm angry, I'm going to sit with it. I'm going to ask my intuition, my inner guides, tarot, me, whatever, how I should go about this in a way that is more nurturing, that is more caring, so that I can alleviate this outcome. But the outcome is going to be had anyway, because when you address anyone on anything, like, you're going to have to hear what they have to say. Whether or not it has to be this drastic, we'll see. No. King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles rather, to clarify this Ten of Swords, has me thinking, it won't be this drastic. Like, let's talk about the differences. So this is like the Ten of Swords, which is like going back and forth in my head, feeling bitter disappointment, feeling really, really like, you know, betrayed, but also knowing that this is our inner scape and how we are projecting, how we're choosing to see the world. It's very possible and more likely than not that it's not this serious. Whereas the King of Pentacles, you know, along with the Queen of Cups energy a little bit more slow. A little bit more dealing with the earth matters, not thinking, well, she said that, well, he looked at me like this, or he sent me that text message, which is all this, thinking. And the King of Pentacles comes in slowly, calmly, a way more introspective dude. This girl is way more introspective as well. This guy only takes action. This woman sits and takes guided action. And this guy ain't taking action at all until he gets everything he needs to get. And he's a Pentacle card. What is actually happening in the real world? Let's separate yourself from how you're thinking about it. Separate yourself even from how you're feeling about it. What is actually going on? Person A, you know, whatever, took a bat to my car. They broke my window. They need to fix it. It's not person A, you know, she's always been jealous of me and all this, you know, all this stuff that we do as humans. Like, the King of Pentacles is asking us, what is the actual situation? What actually do we have the power to do? And what actually could be a just result, and taking out all of these flavors of, I hate them, I don't know what to do, like, why is this happening? You know, just these swords cards, and that's another reason why I don't think the Ten of Swords is the most difficult card in the deck, even though it looks terrible. It's just all what we're thinking on the inside. And when we think like, why does this keep happening? Why are they looking at me? Oh, they're gossiping about me. You know, I'm just making an example of what it could be. It could be so many things, and you know what that is for you. And if you want to know more about what it is for you, we can speak about a private reading. But it's just like, oh, why are they talking to me why are they talking about me like that? Sword number 1. Why are they looking about me? Why are they looking at me like that? Sword number 2. Oh, I hate this. Sword number 3. You know, just like the way that we stab ourselves and make ourselves immobile. Because we're dead by our own thoughts. But how can we be immobile in a more, what can I offer the situation? You know, what can come out of the situation? The Knight of Pentacles, not charging forth so much like the King of Wands, which is something you should do. So for you, Capricorn, I see this month as being, what is bothering you? Why is it bothering you? Getting to the root of it. You know, as far as the decision about whether you should aggressively take care of it, or just step back and just say, you know, okay, it'll pass, and choosing to fight your own battles, I'm getting that's really nagging you, so you should probably do something about it. And so to the extent that you can kind of marry these 3 personas, we have here the King of Wands, who is going to address it, and I see that as being fortuitous for you. But we have the Queen of Cups, who's like, how can I address it nicer? And then we have the King of Wands, who is like, wait a minute, before I address it, what actually do I want to come from this? Do I just want to talk and get out of my feelings and do more of this crap? Or do I want to say, yo, stop looking at me like that. You're making my work product go down. Do you want to talk about it? You know, these are more mature cards, you know, this guy to a lesser extent. But, you know, when we come in here with these 2, it really gets to the situation is going to be working out for you. Once you choose to address it in a way that makes sense, you let go of the mental chatter, you let go of reacting from your emotional body, you react instead from a more intuitive, guided place, and you ask yourself and the other person, whatever the situation is, how can we come to a truce? He's even like offering a pentacle, like here's the olive branch. What can we do now? And then from that, problem solved. So let's see let's see what we can get from the Kuan Yin Oracle to clarify this entire reading, Capricorn. Okay. Let's get some clarity for Capricorn. as they go after this issue. Okay. The creative power. The mind often wants to see and know exactly what is around the corner. But to manifest, we have to give up certainty and embrace creative process. Choosing to live creatively will bring you more joy and success than any amount of certainty ever could. So certainly for certainty, if you're sitting here like, what should I do? You want to know what the actual outcome will be. And this card spoke about Kuan Yin, her. She spoke about, there's a creativity to the process. And who is more creative and intuitive than this queen? Maybe not these guys, but she's a very creative, intuitive woman. And so to the extent that you can see your problem as, something that you can creatively come to a solution for, get a creative solution instead of getting vengeance or getting, winning or having to satisfy that ego need to show that you're better or are on top. There's a more creative solution. There's a more creative way that you can be going about that. And when you go about it with that ease, with that creativity, with the aggression and the confidence, not the aggression, the assertiveness and the confidence of the king, with the introspection and the slowness, marrying a speed with slow, gets us going at a good pace, of the Knight of Pentacles, and then with the creativity, with the intuition, and with the charm and the lovingness of the Queen of Cups, all your problems will be solved this month. That's what I'm going to name the video. All your problems will be solved this month, ... should you choose to go about it in a more creative, constructive way. So Capricorn, that has been my reading for you. I hope that if you have enjoyed this, that you will come back for the April readings, but more so that you will come back and see me for a private reading. Either way, I hope that this video finds you well wherever you are. Let go of the swords. It doesn't matter. You will figure out the problem and you will be done with it. All right? So I love you guys. I hope this video finds you well. Goodbye.